I grew up sort of not observant, not really. I mean, I was Jewish by culture, but I would liken it to a high holiday Jew, right? It's sort of like the Christmas,
Mhm.
Easter version of Christianity, where we observed high holidays.
Yeah.
But as I got older, as I understood, my roots and who I was, I became much more observant, much more tied into it. And yet, my friends will all ask me, all of the monologue, why Jews are so liberal. Do you have a better answer than I have?
Mm.
Oh, that is a great question. I do. I do have a very good answer. I thought yours was very enlightening, and you had a very um, beautiful way of expressing, we say in Hebrew, "Ladan l'chaf zchut," looking favorably upon the Jewish impulse to be liberal and to be democratic comes from a very good place, an idealistic place. But unfortunately, it can become misplaced. My answer of how it is that the Jews, let me step one thing back. I think that the fundamental assertion is incorrect that the majority of Jews are not voting for Trump. I think that's incorrect. Isn't that interesting? That's already
Hmm.
Right.
interesting, right? So I'm going
Okay.
to start with that one because and I've seen a whole paper written on this, and I think it's important to set the record straight because it really looks bad on us that we don't support the president, even though he's so pro-Israel. So I think the majority of the Jews do. Why? Because there are segments of the Jewish population that don't really show up in the polls. I'm talking about
Mm.
Russian Jews, first generation, second generation Russian Jews who came from the former Soviet Union. I'm talking about Israeli Jews who number in the hundreds of thousands, first, second generation in America. And I'm talking about Persian Jews. All of these groups and Sephardim from the Jews from the Middle East. All those people, which make up probably at this point 30% of the Jewish people in America, they're all huge majority, 90% probably voting for Trump.
Mm.
It's the old school.